Good morning, HPC. Nice to see you. Well, it's Holy Week. It's the last week of our reflections from Sinclair Ferguson's book To Seek and to Save, and therefore, I presume, the last week, at least in its current format, of Rory's Ramblings. I'm going to be having the week after Easter off, but if you had some thoughts on what might be helpful to continue ramblings, I've got some ideas, but answers on an email or answers on the Facebook page would be greatly appreciated. I might stick something up on the Facebook page and get people to see what they think would be helpful, something that people would be happy to read along with, and that I might be able to batter my gums about, or perhaps another member of staff as we go forward. Hope you managed to watch our Palm Sunday service. It was fun to be joined by about 50 people after the service for virtual coffee, chance to wave and say hello to people. And I'm confident the quality of conversation is not as good as when you're actually there in person, but it's something, and we're making do, aren't we? Now, now, To Seek and to Save is not the only book that I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading this one as well, No Way Out by Major Adam Jowett. Now, he was a British infantry officer commanding a company of men in Musa Qala in Helmand province in Afghanistan in 2006. And he was in charge of holding a forward operating base against the Taliban, and he did so for 3 weeks under the most astonishing attacks, almost continuous day and night by the Taliban. What interests me about this book is that he speaks of his feelings of guilt. Feelings of guilt as men under his command die. His feelings of guilt as Afghan civilians die at the hands of airstrikes that he calls in, of artillery salvos which kill innocent civilians. And he wrestles very honestly with his feelings of guilt. Now, it's possible, isn't it, to feel guilty about things you shouldn't feel guilty about. I mean, just try walking out of Tesco's with a 9-pack of loo roll at the moment, and it's hard not to begin to feel, even if you need loo roll, even if you haven't got a loo roll left in the house, it's hard not to begin to feel guilty because you worry other people are thinking, oh, look, there goes the associate vicar in Hailsham Parish Church stockpiling loo roll. Typical. It's people like him that are bringing the system to its knees. So we can sometimes feel guilty about things that we shouldn't feel guilty about. Just like we can sometimes not feel guilty about things that we should. And the reality is that we are all guilty. We're guilty of living in God's world as if he's just a bit part actor, as if he's got a tiny walk-on role, when in fact the play is his and he should be the star of the show. We're all guilty of living without giving God the time of day, which is why Luke chapter 23 is really rather wonderful, and why the reflection for this Saturday just gone goes out of its way to show us that Jesus was innocent. Pilate, despite the nature of the trial which Jesus' enemies have put him through, Pilate reaches a decisive verdict. He says, this man is not guilty. It's clear. And then, hearing that Jesus is from Galilee, he ships him off to Herod. And Herod, likewise, having roughed him up a bit, reaches the same conclusion. Herod says to Pilate, I can find that he's done nothing wrong. Pilate says to the chief priests, well, I can't find anything wrong with him. Again, he's innocent. But hopefully you might be appeased if I scourge him, if I whip him, if I beat him. But that amount of blood just won't do for Jesus' enemies. They want his death. But Luke isn't finished with us, because he makes sure that we really get the point when one of the people who die on Jesus' right and left, who are crucified with him, says, this man has done nothing wrong. And the sergeant major, commanding The execution party also says, certainly this man was innocent. Why is Luke so keen for us to realize that Jesus had done nothing wrong? Well, because of the astonishing gospel swap. Because of the fact that Jesus, the innocent, receives our guilt, so that we, the guilty, can be treated as innocent. And that's the good news of Easter. Guilt, shame, sin, they are all put to death in the person of Jesus. So that everyone, no matter what they've done, no matter what they feel ashamed of, can be considered innocent, can be truly innocent through faith in Jesus. Have a great day.